we have the 4-hour price chart for AMC Entertainment Holdings Incorporated, stock ticker AMC. So as we can see here, the stock is gapping lower into the beginning of the trading session today. This is a significant price move because even though these are only small movements in terms of share price values, the direction here is starting to become more clear, especially when we look at similar activity that's occurring with GameStop. So if we sort of drill in here a bit, and we move down to the shorter term time frames, we can get a little bit of a better view about what actually happened here. So as we can see, there was a share price gap to start the trading session. It's not completely surprising that we're seeing this because, we're seeing share prices decline in many aspects of the market, broadly speaking. So, NVIDIA, Amazon.com saw a major price gap lower. If you look at share price valuations in those stocks, some of these Mag 7 stocks, you'll actually see much deeper declines in comparison. I would suggest people take a look at my videos on NVIDIA and particularly on Amazon today, especially, and as well as Intel. Intel's another example. But there are some share prices, some major mega cap stocks that have taken tremendous dives lower here today. So we are seeing a broad sell-off in the market. This is not specifically an AMC story. But I do think that when we look at what's going on with GameStop currently, GameStop is currently threatening the $20 level. So that's a very important kind of line in the sand. This is the price level that Roaring Kitty just recently made famous with his options trades. This is a price level that's now coming under attack, and it does not look like that level is going to be able to hold up much longer. So what I'm saying here is that AMC share price holders really need to ask themselves some serious questions at this point about whether or not they want to continue holding these stocks. If the share price value moves below $20 with GameStop, the real question here is how is that going to affect AMC? Already, we're starting to see share price gaps lower. So I do think that it's time for people to start asking themselves, some major questions here. How long have you been holding this stock? How much opportunity cost is that time frame? Costing you? How much time have you invested in this? How much money have you lost in this during this process? And do you really want to continue holding on to this stock based on, bizarre kind of information that's kind of found all over the internet, places like Reddit and Twitter, X? Whether people need to make a decision about whether or not that's actually going to send share prices higher. So currently, I will say that the share price movement here has been minimal in comparison. We have had some price breaks here to the top side, but we can, on the positive side here, we can say that the share price gaps here are minimal in comparison to what has been seen, say for example, with a company like Amazon. That price gap was much larger, and that's a much larger market cap company. Much more share price destruction is occurring with that stock, today. The price gap here in AMC has only been, let's measure this here. So roughly 512 on the bottom, and then this would have fallen to lows of 492. So we're talking about maximum share price gaps of roughly 25 cents. So these are minimal in comparison. There are several stocks that are seeing share price gaps of $50, $60, things like that. The Intel price gap has been substantial as well. This sort of pales in comparison to what is being seen in the rest of the market. But if we continue to see share price movements like this, even after important price breaks to the top side, traders and investors really need to be asking themselves some important questions here about whether or not, this game should continue, whether or not people should continue holding these stocks. I think there are real questions that need to be asked here. So if we're going to see major turnaround here, a major turnaround in share prices even if it's based on what's going on in the broader market, it's not clear what's going to hold this stock up much longer. Currently, we're looking at a potential downside here. Now that we've seen this breakout fail to the top side, right now what we're looking at here is a next support zone that comes in at roughly 455. If we sort of move back a bit here and look at the 4-hour price chart, we can see that the next price zone after that roughly comes in at roughly 434. So, overall, the declines here to the downside, I would say, are somewhat minimal. But the real question is, how much longer do people want to be holding on to these positions? Have these positions been held for years? Because if that's the case, there are plenty of other stocks that would have paid dividends during that time, and wouldn't have just encountered losses with this slow grind lower. So, as things currently stand, if we're looking at the 4-hour chart as well as the 1-hour chart, we're seeing a negative condition in the relative strength index. This continues to move lower, and this does suggest that the overall share price momentum is focused on the downside, not on the top side. And this has occurred even after some important Fibonacci zones have broken to the top side. So the lack of follow through here is very concerning. People should be worried about this. Currently, the share price in AMC is finding a bit of support at this 100 period exponential moving average, which would be this purple line here. So currently, we're seeing price lows of roughly $4.90. But from here, below this moving average, and a moving average really isn't enough to be, basing a trade on. That's you want more. You want more technical evidence than that. One simple signal. But as things currently stand, this is really the only thing holding up share prices here from testing this 455 level. If we do see a break there, we're looking at 435. And then from there, share prices, the potential for declines there, they continue because you're not looking at much support region there to use as a basis for upcoming reversals. So these are the real questions that need to be asked. And the externally, many of the people that are holding this stock are also holding on to GameStop as well. So what happens to this stock? This is my central question here. What happens to this stock if GameStop falls below this $20 mark? The next level of support in GameStop to the downside comes in at roughly $17.70, right around there. So you're talking about another $2.50 in share price declines at that point. And then, if that support level doesn't hold, the stock is in fairly major trouble at that point. You could be looking at a much further overall drop there. Does that mean that these stocks will move in sympathy with one another? Possibly not. It's possible that they won't. But I do think that some people are going to start jumping ship if that $20 level in GameStop starts to go. And I do think that that's probably going to weigh on this stock. At the very least, it's going to have a negative weighing effect on AMC as well. So here's the current market update for AMC Entertainment Holdings Incorporated, stock ticker AMC. Our high value trading strategies membership is currently available for a limited time for only $9.99 per month. These high conviction investment strategies are characterized by superior risk to reward metrics that target massive market beating returns over time. Join now to outperform the market. Lock in this special introductory rate of just $9.99 per month for the entire lifetime of your membership and start trading stocks with the pros.